I'm sorry about that. My mom called to break, so she wanted to check up on things. But anyway, like I said, that's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, the fact that this just came out of the blue, it just really pisses me, and I know in a sense it pisses my mom off. I mean, she's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but here's what really gets me. It's like he suddenly tells us this now. Like, oh, well, I need to do it because to help my daughter. Okay, I understand that. I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I can understand that. I can understand maybe because you lost a house, but why couldn't you tell us that in the beginning? Why couldn't you inform us that when you mentioned, oh, I'm selling the house? Tell us right then and there, then we'd have a better understanding. You know why? Because that maintenance guy that used to work around with my brother-in-law, my second older sister's husband, I think he had an influence on it. It's because we had somebody else come out and do the work instead of him. And you know what? If that's the case, if the guy has a problem with us getting somebody else to do the job other than him, he should tell us. And it's like I said in the first part, and I'm sorry this went into two parts. But it's like I said, if you get a landlord in the future, or a landlady, or a land person, or whatever, you ask them if that maintenance, if it's okay. You ask them basically if that maintenance person they bring on board is the one that's going to do all the maintenance and nobody else. Because if that person's the only maintenance person, then you try to work it out to where you can have somebody else come in if you can't get a hold of them. Because it's only fair, it's only right. It's only right, it's only fair. Because if not, you take legal action. You take legal action if you have to, especially if that land person decides all of a sudden because you choose somebody else to do the maintenance or to work on the house. You choose them. What I'm trying to say, folks, is if they decide, if your land person decides to kick you out because let's say the maintenance person has a say in it, or because you chose somebody that's not on their list to fix something or do something, you know what you do? You take legal action. You take legal action. You tell them that it's in your right as a tenant to have things fixed and to call upon other people if you have to. You don't wait. Like they wanted us to wait to the following Thursday a couple of months ago in the damn heat. And like I said, we have animals. We have animals. What sense does that make? It doesn't make no sense. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to my mom. It makes no sense to my family. And even though my mom is trying to give our landlord the benefit of the doubt, folks, trying to give him the benefit of the frickin' doubt, she knows as well as we do he's lying. He's a liar, and she knows it. He can kiss up to her, he can act all kind and everything, but he and the maintenance guy, if he had any ownership in that house, are liars. Yes, we thank God, and we are thankful they didn't raise the rent. Thank you, we are. But the thing is, you don't stab us in the back because we get somebody else to do the maintenance for you. You don't go off and sell a house because all of a sudden you have to support your daughter or you lost another house. Seriously? You suddenly tell her that? I don't think so. I do not think so, folks. My honest to God opinion is you guys are nothing more than liars. We thank you for not raising the rent. But the thing is, folks, you know as well as you guys watch, you know as well as I do, people like that are nothing more than liars and snakes and sheep and wolf in sheep's clothing. That's all they are. They can act kind and everything and not do this or that to, maintain your trust and everything. But in the end, when you decide to do one thing that probably they don't agree upon, what do they decide to do? They decide to stab you right in the back. So it's like I said in the other video, or like I said in the first part. Make sure if you're renting that your land person is straight up honest with you. you make sure that person knows what they're doing. Because here's the other thing. Our land person at that time, in that other house, his wife owned a beauty salon. So who's to say maybe his financial reasonings isn't because of her business not doing so well in Southland Mall? Or on Southland Drive? You tell me that. See, the thing is, we're thankful the rent wasn't raised. But what we're not thankful for is all of a sudden being thrown, is basically literally being kicked out of our house. For no reason. And for what? Because we had somebody else do the maintenance? You know, if you can't handle a fire, get out of the pot. Okay? Get out of the grill. Get out, whatever. You can't handle the fire, get out. If you can't handle real estate as well as helping run another business for your wife, get out of real estate. The truth is, folks, this has to stop. These kind of things have to stop. And they know they have to stop. Do you think people are going to trust landlord or land people like that in the future? No. That's why they go to property management groups. Because they know at least those are businesses that are run easier. That are run better. That are run more organized than what they give us. So you know what, folks? I'm going to put it to you like this. You ever rent out in the future? I know I sound like a broken record, but if you ever rent out, make sure you get everything in writing. You can make sure everything is detailed and written out. And you make sure that person, that land person understands that if you can't get a hold of the maintenance guy to come out and fix whatever problems you have, that you're going to call upon someone else and they have no choice but to deduct from the rent because of that. No choice. And they need to understand that. Folks, I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm happy. I'm happy we're in a smaller house but a newer house. In fact, honest to God, we're the first ones in this house. Yeah, it has a few flaws here and there that need to be fixed, need to be touched up, and that's fine. We can call upon people to do it, we can do it ourselves. It's no big deal. I'm thankful we have a roof over our heads. Even though it's 11 miles away from my job, I'm thankful. I thank God for that. But what I'm not happy about is how this came about. See, when my mom, the day we were moving, she saw a picture that was passed down from generations. There's a picture of Jesus. It was passed down in her family from generations to her. She started to cry in her room. Because this wasn't meant to be. Because this move wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. And all I'm going to say is I hope those guys are happy. I hope they're happy. I hope they realize what they have done. And I hope that karma comes back to bite them. Because the truth is going to come out, folks. Everybody knows that in the end the truth comes out. And it's only a matter of time before it comes out for them. But overall, that's all I'm going to say right now in this vlog, catching you up to date on what's going on. And I'll talk to y'all later. Sorry this was in 2 parts.